What's up, guys? We are now getting ready to get into Smite 2, and here we go. Hopefully this time. There is no problems, and apparently there is going to be a problem with how my phone stand is. Honestly, may need to get yet another stupid phone stand. I might need to get a buttload of these. Ooh, look at that. I wonder who that is. Wait, is that the Lady of the Lake? No way is she in here. Taking a while. I swear, all my skins better still be on there. I have wasted money on this. New cross-gen pass by the Dusk and Dawn Spirit Yamoja Divine Legacy skins for Smite 2. Immortal Honor. Unlock new and Ymir. Wait, that's for Soul? Well, tease each god release in Smite 2? Cool. And Blobmere. Oh my god, I love that guy. I kind of like that skin. I love that skin. Firefly. This is going to be a little tricky. Blighthound. That's who it was. Anubis. I thought it was Set. I love the skin already. Oh my god. I love it. Damn, it's 600. Oh, that's Dawn Spirit. A deer, of course. What the heck is my... No, we'll just leave it like it is. Just leave it. Leave it like it is. Let's see. Casey. Oh, the avatar. Cool. Wraith? Ooh. Blighthound announcer pack. Jump stamp. I want to get that skin so bad. It's the last one, too. And considering the fact that I don't really have that much skins for Anubis, actually. I only have that golden one, sadly. But is there actually a new skin character? No, there's not. Let's actually go up to Anubis. Oh, wait, we were just there. This actually looks pretty sick. I like it. He looks like a mix between Chinese and Egyptian mythology. Well, let's see what else. Baddie Bat. Legacy Path. Of course. I'll have to do that another time, but then, I mean, it's not actually bad. It reminds me of both Jinx from Teen Titans and Rouge, the Bat. The Undead. Wait, this is a Fenrir skin? Holy crap, he looks pretty cool. Like, I can see a wolf on the back. Oh, god, I could probably pretty much see his insides. Yeah. No, wait, those are skulls. Yep. I can see his head there, too. Dang, I didn't even know that he got skin, too. King Arthur. Hellion. The undead would probably be, well, what is Fenrir originally called? Fenrir is called the the Unbound. Now the Undead. I get now. Oh, there's something new in the store. Let's see. I would love Blobmere and Blighthound, honestly. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. It said there were 7 new stuff. Eh. Let's see this cross-gen pass. No, we're there. Let's see Immortal Honor. Hmm. I could pretty much purchase these, but these would probably take forever to get earned. Oh wait, that's the Y. It's only 800 gems each for each of them. Let's see the lores. Ends and beginnings. At the place where order and chaos met, the goddess Nut. Oh, Nut? That's some new character. That is right. Stood in watch as the barriers of fate trembled. Strands of destiny snapped taut as ancient certainties frayed and split. The two forces met and merged before separating once more, but not to the same extent. There was mingling, leakage, chaos and order, order and chaos. Perhaps that was the way it should always have been. Perhaps it would be better this way. Perhaps. Perhaps. There were so many possibilities now. So many potentialities that not even she could conceive of them all. The stars shone down on a new world, one where anything was at last possible. With Surtur's freedom, the last tatters of the old cycle are no more, Nuts said, with mingled sadness and relief. The duty she had performed for so long was done at last. She turned to her companion. For the first time since your birth, daughter, there is no certainty in all creation. No way! Nuts, the mother of Tiamat? The mistress of all. Wow. Tiamat uncoiled slowly, rising above the mistress of all. I think we got a new Babylonian goddess on the way. It is past time, if you ask me, she said. The gods have grown lazy in their resignation. Now, perhaps, things will become more interesting, at least for me. Nut frowned. Without certainty, there is danger, so Ra had told her. When he decreed that she was to be separated from her beloved Gib. Wait, no way is Babylonian involved with the Egyptian mythology. Babylon was before Egypt. So this could be a new guardian or something. Huh. I can't believe we have Nut now. After so many years, Geb won't be alone anymore. Oh, so many turns of the wheel go. Ra believed that their union was a dangerous thing, that it threatened the cycle they had crafted in those distant, early days. Geb, Geb, he was the earth, and she the sky, and never the twain would meet. There was good reason for it, but she missed him so. Without danger, life is not worth living, Tiamat growled, bring her out of her reverie. You know this, mother. Oh, so Tiamat may actually be Egyptian as well. Half Egyptian. Well, then again, gods and goddesses can sometimes fall in love with different other gods, so yeah. Life is what. But yeah, I'm agreeing with Tiamat. Dang it. Although I would like to live it safely, but. Uh, you know this, mother. The term was an honorific. Was honorific only. Was an honorific only, for Tiamat had risen fully manifested from the rolling seas of chaos. That's a weird way to say roiling. Don't you mean rolling? Huh. But Nut had been midwife to that manifestation. Oh, midwife. At least, the mother of some gods, grandmother of others, the first and the last, insofar as such things were judged. As such things were judged. Nut shook her head and looked back at the crash of forces that formed the being heart of all that was. The walls and floors of this place were eternally flowing waterfalls, containing all the stars in the sky and all the colors of the rainbow. I have to agree that I was right. Most gods would fall in love with different kinds of gods to make up new children. I mean, then again, Ares and Athena are half siblings, while Hercules is the son of Hera and Zeus. She had made this place for her homes. She had made this place her home for so long, lending her strength to the eternal barriers that separated order from chaos. But those barriers were not so eternal these days. The gods, her children, had tested them and found them wanting. They had defied the ancient cycle she and Geb had enacted for their protection. They had faced and defeated the guardians of that cycle, as well as the dangers the cycle was meant to protect them from. But they did not understand what that meant. At the thought, Nut stooped and crouched, stirring the starry waters at her feet, and drawing forth an image of the world tree and its great continent of roots. Far below them, imprisoned in the churning night ocean that stretched across the underside of existence. Ooh, Cthulhu still slept in his eternal prison. I'd like to play as him, but lore. Wait a minute. Tiamat imprisoned him, not killed him? Well, that actually makes sense. So back to what I was saying. Imprisoned in the churning night ocean that stretched across the underside of existence, Cthulhu still slept in his eternal prison. I should have killed it, Tiamat rumbled, watching as Nut dismissed the image. No good could come of letting such a thing continue to exist. It is not even of this world. Once that was so, but now it as much but now it is as much of this world as you are, dear child. Nut looked up at the dragon. Let Cthulhu sleep, dead but dreaming. There may come a time when he is all that stands between our children and something worse. Wow. Worse? Tiamat asked, rearing back as a star. Wait, are they actually going to hope that that Cthulhu might help? The sleeper of Relay, Titan of Terror, and the great dreamer himself. I'm actually with Tiamat on this. Nut nodded sadly. There is always something worse. In the force of infinite night, for every fire there are things circling in the dark beyond its farthest gleaming. Cthulhu is but the least of them. The cycle is the fire that keeps them at bay. Or rather, it was. She turned, stroking the air with her hands. That is why I must put the question to the others now. I must know. More images ballooned in the roiling universal current. Come, Nut called. Come to me, O you sons and daughters of heaven and earth. There are matters before us, and I would hear the words of all before I make my ruling. As she spoke, the shimmering waters parted and figures emerged. Some did so reluctantly, others eagerly. The lords and ladies of the greatest pantheons, those charged with the maintaining of the cycle, and those who had broken it. Foremost among them were Olorun, Olorun, Yoruba god, Yu Huang, Amaterasu, Ra, Odin, Hera, and Kukulkan. But there were others as well. Merlin, Hades and Persephone, Jormungandr, Nox, and dozens more besides, gods from all corners of the world, who had come at the call of the She Who Protects. Olorun was the first to speak. Lady Nut, it has been some time since you called us here. He glanced at Tiamat, and she nodded respectfully. Oh, that's nice. The presence of the dragon seemed to annoy and intimidate some of the others, Nut noted. Then Tiamat had never been very good at making friends. That's kind of true. They always bullied her. Nut smiled in welcome at Olorun, and then at the other gathered divinities. I am pleased to see you all. It has been too long since we have gathered in this way. Without regard to pantheon or purpose, Odin spoke up. Was it simple loneliness that drove you to summon us, or something more important? He rubbed his eye patch. His good eye gleamed speculatively. Yu Huang glanced at the other god. Show some respect, Allfather. Definitely. Or are you as churlish as Zeus? He glanced around, as if searching for the absent lord of Olympus. Then if you were, I suppose you would not have been invited. Zeus is still angry with how the matter of Surtur was resolved. Hey, it was better than having to fight. Dang, most of these ruling gods always want to pick fights. Just stop, Hera said. He is sulking, you mean? Ra interjected. Muted laughter rippled through the group. Nut smiled sadly. Zeus's power was equaled only by his petulance when thwarted. His patience, never the best, had grown thin since gained his his patience, never the best, had grown thin since Surtur had gained his freedom. Let me check again. His patience, never the best, had grown thin since Surtur had gained his freedom. Hera paused and then shrugged. He was looking forward to a fight. Called it. She said and looked around. Nor was he alone in that, I expect. There has been enough conflict, Merlin said. Jormungandr chortled, and the mage glared at the great serpent, as the latter coiled about the gathered gods. The fighting has not yet begun, fool, Jormungandr said. He looked at Nut. That is why we are really here, is it not? So that you can tell us what so that you can tell us what the observant among us have already perceived. His eyes flicked to Tiamat as he spoke. Nut reached up and stroked the giant serpent's chin. Oh, looks like Jormungandr has a soft side. Ooh la la. Even for pretty girls like Nut, who happens to be the mother of them all. Nut reached up and stroked the giant serpent's chin. She had always felt some affection for him. Oh, ho, ho, ho. So she's a dragon lover. She loves dragons. That's cool. Better to put him on teams with Kukulkan, Tiamat, and Jormungandr, Yu Huang, who's a dragon, and Al Guang, who's also a dragon. Is there any other dragons here? No, skins won't count. It has to be literal dragon gods and goddesses themselves. Why is Tiamat the only girl dragon? There should be more. Like, well, maybe not Echidna, but bring in Typhon, who is also a guy. I don't know who else is there. Are there any other girl dragons? Who knows? She had always felt some affection for him. So like Tiamat, in so many ways. Yes, she looked at the gods, her eyes sweeping past some and lingering on others. Or I think it's lingering. Or lingering. I'm going to say lingering. No. You guys tell me how it is. Sweeping past some and lingering on others. I think it's because of different how ways to say in different words. Their stories clung to them like shadows, and each was an open book to her. The cycle is done, for good or ill. It has been broken, remade, and broken again, but no more. The last shreds of it are now gone, and your stories are no longer set in stone. Olorun studied her. What does that mean exactly? The runes are silent, Odin said softly. The ending is no longer written. He looked around. We have escaped the doom that awaited us all. He looked around. We have escaped the doom that awaited us all. Despite his words, he did not seem pleased. Nut found that somewhat surprising, given how often he tried to avoid his own fate, she nodded. That is true. Even in God of War Ragnarok. Yes, and that means that nothing is certain, she gestured, calling forth from the water an image of a seated figure. Shiva. Recently the world was started anew, but it was made in the husk of the old cycle. That is why you have fought to keep the peace among yourselves, so as to prevent the destruction you have witnessed firsthand. Her gaze fell on Hades and Persephone, and the two clutched hands. She wondered if they felt guilty or defiant, both in their own ways and for their own ends, had attempted to break the cycle. But there is always another fire, another shadow. That is why we made the cycles as we did, Geb and I, to keep you safe within the boundaries we marked for you. To keep us safe, Oleron repeated, and yet it did nothing of the sort. Because we broke it, Persephone said. She looked at Merlin, who turned away. The cracks were there, and we all exploited them for our own reasons. But if it is gone now, what is left? Opportunity, Hera said. If we are free, then we can do as we wish. Oleron glanced at her. That is what got us in the situation in the first place. That is kind of right. I never even saw the others because I never knew this was a game until 2020. He is not wrong, Nox said, softly. If we simply go back to the old ways, are we truly free? Or have we simply traded one dream for another? She looked around. All eyes were on her. Nut knew it was because Nox only rarely spoke. She was among the oldest of those gathered here, of an age with Oleron, younger only than... Wait, so she's this pretty much old as Oleron, but younger only than Tiamat and Nut herself. As such, her words were worth hearing. Is this opportunity or disaster in the making? That is the question I have asked you here to answer, Nut said. Nut said. She gestured to the cascading waters of infinity around them. Here is the heart of all. I can change the rhythm. Here's the heart of all. I can change the rhythm of its being to something more familiar, if you wish. What are you asking? Oleron said. He crossed his arms. He crossed his arms. His expression concerning. I'm also crossing my arms too. She's asking if you want it back, Zeus said. He pushed through the crowd of gods, which parted around him like a flock of startled birds. Nut watched him approach in some surprise. Hera spoke up. I thought we agreed that you weren't coming. Given the matter at hand, I assume you want my counsel, Zeus said, glancing at her. He looked around. She's offering to put it all back and make us safe again, to wrap us in our stories and leave us to our dreams. He pointed an accusing finger at Nut. That is it, isn't it, oh mistress of all? Nut Nut didn't deny it. Yes, I can reweave the old barriers, as I have done before. Reinforce the old stories. It will be difficult, but it can be as it was, or not. She smiled sadly and looked around. Some of you have seen the Baka Kujira, I expect. Nods. Oh, we're bringing in the whale back? Nods greeted these words. The great skeletal whale had been seen in the skies across the worlds, a sign of ill omen, or of disasters to come, she continued, but also a portent of change. What sort of change? Yu Huang asked. He sounded doubtful. What does it matter? Zeus said. He looked around. Anything is better than replaying the same story over and over. Even Sir Erder understood that. Some nodded at his words, but others did not seem as if they agreed. Constancy is the soul of the Constancy is the soul of any kingdom, Yu Huang. Or you said. No, Huang said. Yu Huang said. Yeah, I'll just keep it that way. Why change what has served us so well all these millennia? He looked around. He looked at Nut. Why risk the danger to the world, to our worshippers, our pantheons, if we have another option? Odin grunted. Yu Huang is right. That's surprising, coming from him. Without the cycle, what is to stop one pantheon from wiping out another? A murmur ran through the crowd. Nut knew they were all wondering the same thing. Zeus snorted. Common sense. The weaker pantheons would simply join forces to counter the strong, as it has ever been. As it has ever been. He looked at Tiamat. A better question is is to stop her from trying to destroy us. A better question is what to stop her from. A better question is what is to stop her from trying to destroy us, as she did last time, or a monster like Surtur from deciding to invade the mortal world. As you said, common sense, Tiamat growled. I do not want to destroy you, and I will not attempt it, so long as you give me the same consideration. I will. She rose up, wings crackling. The real issue is not one of the real issue is not one of pantheons, but of individuals. There are troublemakers around you. That is true. Ishtar, but about Ishtar, Set, Loki, Discordia. Without the cycle to contain them, they will become unpredictable. So just to be clear, Ishtar is is from the same pantheon as Tiamat and Gilgamesh. Set is from Egyptian, which you all know. Loki's Norse, obviously, and Discordia is Roman. Without the cycle to contain them, they will become unpredictable. Their actions might have consequences that will endanger us all, and the world besides. You mean like when they freed you? Zeus said, ooh, grinning in challenge. Tiamat lowered her head to me eye to eye. Exactly like that. Arguments broke out amongst the other gods at her words. Nut watched in consternation as things grew heated. This wasn't what she intended. Then why she had expected. Then why had she expected. Then why had she expected anything different? The gods did not change. Could not. They had such power, but were frightened of so many things, as Ra had been frightened. Oh, Geb, she murmured. He alone she had not invited. Could not have, even though she wished to. Ah, her eyes found Ra, and he looked away from her. Even now, he was ashamed of his ancient decree, though both she and Geb had forgiven him long ago. She wondered if this bet had been a mistake. She wondered if this had been a mistake. If she had, if she, if she should have not asked, should simply have done as she had always had in the past. If she should have If she should have not asked, should simply have done as she always had in the past and reinforced the barriers. If she simply, if she should simply have chosen for them without giving them the chance to choose for themselves. Oleron caught her eye and they stepped back away from the others. You do not look pleased, he said. Nut smiled sadly. I fear I am not used to such spirited debate. Nor was I, the first time. Nor was I, the first time. I grew to enjoy it, however. Oleron looked up at the Star Wars. You've never asked us before. Why now? Nut paused. I thought it was time. Oleron nodded. It is a messy thing, freedom. All the old assumptions it must be discarded. It is frightening and frustrating and joyous, invigorating. He looked at her. Without the cycle, what happens? I do not know. Perhaps nothing will change and things will simply continue as they are. Or maybe everything will change. Regardless, you will be able to truly write your own stories for the first time. Maybe we will destroy everything, Oleron said. Maybe. Or maybe together you might serve as protectors to this world which is our home. Nut smiled again. Anything is possible until you decide otherwise. Oleron paused, as if considering this. Oleron paused. Why did I speak like an AI who couldn't speak his words? Oh, well, I kind of do. Oleron paused, as if considering this. He watched the others for a moment, then said, The cycle bound you as well, didn't it? Nut hesitated, thinking of Geb. Yes. And you are no less a god than the rest of us. Nut frowned. What are you trying to say? Oleron smiled at her. What would you decide, mother of all? Nut stared at him. Then softly she began to laugh. The sound, quiet as it was, pierced the din of arguing gods as surely as a thunderbolt. Dang. All turned to face her, and Nut felt a wave of sympathy for them. These children of fate. For so long she had held them close and kept them safe. But now, as Tiamat had said, it was time for them to grow up. Nut lifted her hand. The wars around them began to shine with a blinding radiance. I am Nut, and I came here to unfold and hold on. I am Nut, and I came first to enfold and protect you from all things evil. This I have done. She gestured, and the waters parted, revealing the firmament and the world below it. Olympus, Babylon, Asgard, all the rest, in their glory. Motes of light, set against a vast sea of dark, order and chaos, as it had always been. Yet not quite. Nut continued. But now I think has come the time for you to protect yourselves. I will help where I can, but the time for cycles is done. Your fate is now what you make of it. Your stories are in your hands. Make them good. Make them good ones. The waters rushed outwards, enveloping the bewildered gods, and returning them to wherever they had been when she had called to them. Only Tiamat remained. She looked down at Nut with evident amusement. I thought you wanted them to choose. They did. And so did I. Tiamat laughed. What now, mother? Nut thought of Geb again and smiled. Now we see what comes next. I can't wait to see what comes next. Dang, that was pretty good. Well, of course, it took a while to say because I wanted to involve some stuff. But, anywho, I hope... Dang, there's even this Divine Legacy. What is this Divine Legacy, anyway? Did I get this skin? Loki, Izanami, Bacchus, Hercules, Chalk. Ooh, I like that one. Mint chocolate chip. That would be good too. Boss Man, Supernova, Kitsune Sage, and Hellion. You know, we're going to link it. Hopefully I got these characters. Let's shout out Nuwa. Apparently it did not show. Let me try that again. Did I not link it? Bro. Oh, wait, it's not even there yet. It's just a trailer. That's what I saw, but at least now I linked it, so now I can wait. Probably wait. Hopefully I can get it, but anyway, I hope you all enjoy. We'll get to the game. Oh, wait, it's just a trailer, so we're going to have to pretty much wait until this has a little bit of an update. So in this case, I hope you all enjoyed reading that, hearing that story with all of Tiamat. You know, why not? Why don't we just do that? Hold on, we're going to go see. We're going to see her. That's how we're going to end it. We're going to have it showing her face. Darn weird things right there. But for anywho, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!